What's up guys, SeanEDawgz here, and in this video I'm going to be giving you the final verdict. Which is better, common supply drops or rare supply drops? I went out, I spent over 2,200 keys the day that the new weapons dropped, and I spent over 1,000 on rares and 1,000 on commons. I did a massive spreadsheet on Excel to see what exactly do you get from these drops and which is better in the long run. This is in response to yesterday's video because I was getting a lot of comments. I called the triple play hack a scam because I didn't think it was worth 400 keys. I thought that was very overvalued because you can get really good things out of the rare supply drops, and I had a hunch that I was right just thinking about how my supply drop opening was turning out, like what kinds of things that I got, and it turns out that it was actually supported by the data. This is because based on my findings, on average, I get an epic around every 258 keys, and this wanted you to pay 400 just for a guaranteed epic. It is a Mark II, and you could get something good out of the Quartermaster collection, but that was the main deal breaker for me because my Quartermaster collection was not that full, so it didn't really make any promises. I could have ended up getting a common from that Quartermaster collection. Now let's get straight into the analysis. In this horribly formatted spreadsheet, I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. So all in all, I bought 43 rare supply drops for a total of 129 items from those drops. This cost 1,290 keys, and out of that, I got 61 commons, 49 rares, 14 legendaries, and also 5 epics, which I was pretty happy about. And those percentages that you see to the right of those values, those are your chances of getting each type of rarity from a rare supply drop. So you have a 47% chance of getting a common, and what that translates into is every 21 keys that you accumulate, that pretty much guarantees you a common, and the same goes for the rest of the different tiers. Basically, if you save up 258 keys, you will most likely get an epic based on my drop. Now there could be a little bit of error in this data just because I opened up 100 commons and only 43 rares, so the values coming from my rare supply drops are not going to be as accurate. I mean like long run, because if I were able to do 100 drops, the numbers would more closely match what the actual probabilities are. Now the last thing on here is your salvage to key ratio. I got 1,955 salvage from this drop, and what that translates into is every key gets you about 1.5 salvage, every 10 keys gets you 15. And the reason I have 2.5 on there is because every game that you play, you're in roughly 2 to 3 keys, so I split it right down the middle, and you get almost 4 salvage per game, which isn't really a lot, but that does accumulate, and you do also get login bonuses as well. So moving on to the next horribly formatted Excel spreadsheet, we are on to the commons. I opened up exactly 100 drops for 1,000 keys, and the results were very, very different from the rares. If you notice, the legendary and epic drop rate dropped significantly, more than 4 times the amount from the rare supply drop. The legendary percentage was over 10%, and my epic percentage was 3.88. So these are massive, massive changes. The drop rate for these common supply drops of those epic and legendary tiers is very, very low. So don't expect anything good from those common supply drops. Now, you would think that because they give you terrible drop rates for those epic and legendary tiers, that maybe it would have some other redeemable quality, like it would give you more salvage, but that is not the case either. Whereas the rares values were closer to 1.5 per key, the commons only give you about 1.36 salvage per key. So everything about the common supply drops is worse, except for the amount of items that you get, but those items will mostly be commons and rares. Now, I know that EXCLUSION did a similar experiment a few days ago in which he tested over 500 supply drops of commons and rares, but he did this on different sources from YouTube, and me being the cynical bastard that I am, I don't trust anything unless I do it myself. So all of these are straight from me in one supply drop opening as of the most recent update, where they added the UDM pistol, the axe, as well as the RVN assault rifle. So this is currently up to date. I think he did it right before the DLC drop. Maybe they decreased the salvage rate, because he found that in his rare supply drops, the average salvage drop rate was 68, while mine was only 45. So that is a massive difference, maybe even enough to consider that they may have changed the drop rate. But anyways, there you have it. The main difference is you will get a lot more legendaries and epics from the rares, and you also increase your salvage earn rate by about 0.2 salvage per key. So that is the main takeaway here. If you don't believe me, I have left every single supply drop that I've opened up on this gameplay. I'll leave it up after I'm done, and you can go make your own investigation, run the same test that I did. But I'm about as close to 100% sure that I did everything right as you could possibly be. Now, before I end this video, I've said this before, I want you guys to know that I do everything in your best interest. I have played every single Call of Duty from release date to the end of the 1-year cycle since Call of Duty 4. I even played Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3, but I didn't have Xbox Live when I had COD 3. I almost never speak from opinion. I speak mostly based on fact and the experience that I have over the years that I've played COD. A lot of people in my last video were calling me an idiot, a moron, saying I didn't know what I was talking about. Based on my 258 keys per epic, I do know what I'm talking about. That is, I'd much rather take my chances with rare supply drops than getting guaranteed items for an increased premium. Hate it or love it, I tell it like it is. That's just the way I am. I don't make content to please the masses. I'm not trying to clickbait by calling it a scam. Everything that I say is backed by either fact or experience. The only things I will ever get wrong is maybe if I misspeak or if I say the name of a gun incorrectly. I know that first axe video I made, I accidentally called the RVN the RV8. I don't know, it was the first match I played with the gun. I think I looked at the name for like a millisecond, and that was what half the comments were about, saying that it was the RVN. But anyways, that is gonna wrap it up for this video. If you did enjoy or found it helpful, be sure to drop a like, comment down below with any thoughts or questions you may have, and as always, subscribe to the channel if you are new for some more great videos. I will see you in the next one. I'm going to play out the rest of these supply drops at a faster speed so it doesn't take forever to render the video. If you do actually want to see the supply drop openings, you could just go into the video settings and slow it down. Now, if you did your math correctly, you still might be thinking that that $400 key bundle is still a good deal. However, for me, I don't have a vested interest in Mark II weapons because you cannot change the camo, and I do have the Black Sky camo, so I think that's complete BS. I should be able to put whatever camo I want on the gun, but also I really don't trust the supply drops in those bundles. They could easily just put lower earn rates in those without telling us, and we would never know. And I did get some advanced level shit from those 10 rare supply drops. Just something to think about. But that's all, folks.